It's Saturday night, and the next day is my mom's birthday. I realize I haven't gotten her a cake yet. So I run to the grocery store, pick up a cake, and then I realize I'm gonna need a candle. Now, I know she's not gonna want her age displayed on top of the cake, so I decide I'm gonna get one of those question mark shaped candles. One problem though, they were all out of those. Now I'm trying to figure out what to do, and then I realize, wait, I have a 3D printer, and I can definitely design one of these. So I bite a cake, go home, fire up Fusion 360. It literally takes me 5 minutes to make the question mark design, and an hour later, I'm holding it in my hand. It looks way better than what they would have had at the store, and I was able to print it in colors that matched the cake. And the sweet bonus is that I made it. And if you've been there, you know that exact feeling. I love this project because it's a great example of how my 3D printer has saved me countless times. And I have so many stories like this. All right, let's go into the design and I'll show you how I approached this and how I was able to print it in 2 colors with a printer that only has 1 extruder. I printed this with my Prusa i3 Mark II, and as you can see I went with the clear filaments for the first part, and I'm going to come in with the orange for the second part. So the printer head's going to move out the way, and then it's going to unload the old filament, and I'll just put in the new filament and hit the OK button, and it'll purge some of it out. And you just have to make sure to come in and clear the rest of the filament so it doesn't drag it back to your print. And then it just continues, and it does a really good job of just picking up where it left off. The beeping you heard before is what it uses to notify you when it's ready for a filament swap. So it'll keep beeping until you actually come in and change the filament. Here's the finished print, and I really do love these flexible sheets that allow your prints to just pop right off. Makes life so much easier. And as you can see, I modeled this with the little hole on top, so then you can just come in with a regular candle and place it on top. And this has already gotten me thinking of all sorts of creative and funny ideas for candle designs instead of what you usually see out there. All right, let's jump into the design now. I find it's a lot easier to approach these types of designs by bringing in an image and tracing it rather than just trying to tackle it from scratch. So what I did is I went on Google, found the image I wanted to use, and then just saved it to my computer. So now all I have to do is go to Insert, Canvas. I'm going to go to Insert from my computer, and it'll go to my folder. If not, just navigate to the right folder. I'm going to select my image and click Open. And now all I have to do is select the face. I want this on my XY plane, so I'll select it. And let's go to a top view so I see what I'm looking at. There's my question mark here. I'm just going to move it about over here. The only thing I changed here was just to bring that opacity down to about 30. Somewhere in 30s is fine. And then I'll click OK. And now I have to calibrate it, so I'm going to expand it here on my browser. Right click, go down to Calibrate. And I'm just going to select the bottom and the top and enter what I want that to be. So I'm going to go with 80 millimeters, hit enter, and then let's zoom out. Okay, I'm going to turn on my origin here to see where it is, and I'm just going to move it a little bit. So I'm going to right click on my canvas here, right on that image, and I'm going to go to edit canvas, and then I can just grab it. I'm going to position it about right here, just so it's on the upper right hand quadrant here of my x-axis here. All right, I'll click OK, and now I'm ready to begin sketching. So I'll go to Create, Create Sketch, select that XY plane, and I'm going to grab my spline tool and it's simply trace over the question mark. So let's go to Create, Spline, Fit Point Spline, and I'll zoom in a bit. And I'll just start around right here, and I'm just going to place points just on major curves. And you've probably seen me use the spline tool before. You know, it's one of those things that you really just have to kind of start using it to get the hang of it. But you can see that once I click back on that first point, it closes that profile. So if I hit escape, I have this profile here. And now I can go in and tweak these points. So I can grab them and move them. And if I click on it, I get these handles. If I want a sharp edge, I could just bring that handle close in and it gives me a sharper edge there. And then I can just go around tweaking these. So I'm just gonna move these around, just getting it to match the profile. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not looking for perfection here, just to get the general idea. So I'm not gonna go too crazy with it. Here's a tip: if you find that it's snapping into different points or to your grids, you can hold the command or the control key Command on a Mac, Control on a PC, and it'll give it the smooth movement you see here so it can stop it from snapping. Okay, once I'm happy with this overall shape, let's go down to the circles here. And to create those, I'm just gonna go with the ellipse tool. So create down to ellipse. I'll eyeball my center point here and then just move my mouse up to give it my height and then out to give it my width. Hit escape, and then you can actually come back and adjust these points here. Okay, now that I'm happy with the overall outline here, I'm going to grab my offset tool by going to modify, down to offset, click this top outline here. I'm going to give it a 2.5 millimeter offset here, and there it goes. I'll do the same thing with the bottom here. Right click, just go up to repeat offset, click the ellipse, and you can see if I start dragging it in, it's a negative offset, so I have to make sure to enter that negative number, negative 2.5. There we go. Now I'm going to take a different approach. Instead of this whole white part around the question mark, I'm going to simply attach the top to the bottom part using a couple arcs. So I'll go to create, down to arc, 3-point arc, and click on the ellipse here. Let's see, grab a point here and then a point right here on the question mark, and then I'm just going to bring that in a little bit and do something like that. Do the same thing on this side. And that's fine. And now I'm just gonna do the bottom part. This is the part that actually goes into the cake. So let's grab the line tool, and I'll just grab somewhere over here, come down, go across, and then back up. Okay, now I have that little rectangle part that's going to actually have it sit. Let's hit D, and I'll check the distance on this. It's about 13 millimeters, so that's good enough. Okay, so that's pretty much what I need here. So I'm gonna go to stop sketch, and I don't need to see the canvas anymore, so I'll untoggle that visibility. E for extrude, and I'm gonna select each one of these profiles, and then I'm gonna extrude this down. I went about 15 millimeters, so I'll do negative 15 there. And let's bring back the visibility of that sketch. And E again for extrude, and this time I'm just gonna choose that outline, and I'm gonna go extrude in the other direction. We'll go 3 millimeters and click OK. Let's remove that sketch again, and there is our question mark. Now to print this, I want to do it in 2 different colors so that the outline here can actually stand out and we'll see a question mark. So let's make it look like how we're going to actually print it. I'll hit A on my keyboard for appearance. I'll get this appearance dialog box. Let's go down to, we'll go to plastic, and I'll click on the opaque folder here. Let's see, I'll grab a, let's go with a white, and then I'm going to grab a red, but I just want this top face to be red, so I'm going to change this from bodies to faces, and I'll go ahead and drag that over. So it's going to look something like that, and actually the inside part is also going to be red here. Okay, then I'll double click up here on that red. I'm actually going to make it orange because that's the color I'm going to make it, because we're doing a carrot cake. Okay, and it's going to look something like that. It's a little bit different because this whole part here would be a different color, and I can tweak that right now by using my split body tool to make it more accurate, but that's going to give the general idea of how I want this to look. So, all right, now I'll show you how I'm actually going to set it up in the slicer. Actually, before I do that, let's apply a fillet to these bottom edges here. I'll go to modify, down to fillet, and I'll select this edge here, and you know what, let's do these 2 as well. So these 4 total edges, and I'll do a 1 millimeter fillet, and then I'll click OK. Now the reason for that, and if your model can allow for it, is when you're 3D printing you won't have these abrupt changes. It just allows for the print head to just move smoother if you put these fillet in here. So it's just kind of moving and not having to stop and then turn. It'll allow for just better results. I realized that I forgot to put our hole on the top where the candle is gonna go into. So the idea behind this design is that we're gonna have a hole on the top, and you're not gonna, actually light this 3D printed part. You're gonna put a candle, a regular candle on the inside. So, all right, let's do that really quick. I'm gonna start that by creating a offset plane. So I'll go to construct offset plane, and I'm gonna grab this ZX plane here. I'm going to take that arrow and I'm just going to drag it up right on top of my model here. So bring that down just so that it lies right above it. Click OK, and then we'll create a sketch right on that plane. And we're right on top here. So I'm going to hit P on my keyboard for project. And within this little dialog box, I'm going to choose bodies, select my body, click OK. And I'm going to draw a circle. I'll go to create and then we'll go down to circle. I'm going to go with the center diameter circle. Just create a circle up here. I'm going to go with a 6mm diameter. And since I projected this outline of the body here, you see it in purple. And the fastest way to get this circle centered on the center here, I think is going to be to draw a line. So I'll grab the line tool under the create menu and then just draw a line across from diagonal to diagonal. Hit escape, select that line, and I'm going to hit X on my keyboard to make it a construction line. And now I'm going to grab my midpoint constraint here, click on my circle, and then click on this line, and it's going to bring that circle right to the midpoint of that line. Now I'll hit stop sketch. Let's bring that sketch back into view so I can see it, and then I'm going to select that circle there, E for extrude, and let's just go all the way down. Well, we won't go all the way, we'll leave a little bit of material here so that we don't poke through. I'll click OK, and we can untoggle sketches, and that's my hole there. That's gonna fit my candle. Okay, now we're ready to 3D print this. Okay, to 3D print this, I'm gonna go to Tools, Make, 3D Print, select my model, and I can either export it as an STL file, or I'm gonna directly send it to my prusa slicer here. So I'm gonna just click OK. Now any slicer can do this part, but since I'm going to be printing this with my prusa, I'll just bring it into the prusa slicer. And the prusa slicer actually makes it pretty simple if you want to print something with 2 different colors and you only have 1 extruder. I'm going to show you that right now. So with my settings here, I'm going to leave it at 0.2mm. We're going with PLA. Here's my printer. Infill 20% is fine. So now I'll go to Slice Now. And you can see I can drag this little slider up and down, and it gives me a nice simulation of what's going to happen. Now what I have to do is just simply go to the layer that I want to change filament. So I can see here, this is where that layer starts, where it begins printing that outline. So that's where I want to start. Now you want to avoid, here's a mistake I did at first. I started at this layer here, and you pick the layer by clicking on this little plus sign, and then it adds a little mark right here. So the first time I did it on that layer, and what happened is it then printed this whole part here orange, and it didn't give me that distinction I wanted. So to remove the layer, you just bring it back down. You find that little X here, and you click on it. So I'm just gonna hit the arrow on my keyboard, the up arrow, and then I see that's where that outline starts. So now I'm gonna hit the plus sign there. Now when I drag this up, you can clearly see that this is red and this is orange. Now these colors don't mean anything. You can change them. You know, it's really just going to depend on what color you decide to actually put on your printer. So as I'm printing, it'll be going until it gets to this layer right here. And once the printer gets there, it'll actually stop. It'll beep to let me know it's ready, and it moves the extruder out of the way, and then it unloads the filaments. It'll have me put in a new filament, tell it when it's ready, and then it'll just simply continue printing with the new filament. So it makes the process really easy and straightforward. Then all I have to do is click Slice Now, and then just export my G-code. And I like the visualization here that it clearly shows you exactly what's happening. Okay, let me know what you thought of this project, or if you have any questions on my approach. Do you have a similar example of where your 3D printer came to the rescue? If so, let me know in the comments below. I also have some exciting news. I've been working on a new design course that's filled with practical projects like this one. I'll be announcing it in the coming weeks. I'm still putting some finishing touches on it because I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist. But if you're interested in learning about it, simply click on the link below and you'll be the first to know when it's ready to launch and how to get it. I'm also going to put the link to the Fusion 360 file that I designed today for the question mark candle holder. So if you want to get access to that and play with the design and 3D print your own, just follow the link down below and it'll take you to where you can download it. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe so that you can be informed of new videos and more 3D printing and Fusion 360 projects. I will see you guys next time.
Happy birthday to you.
Ладно, Кыргаш, ты как-то